DJ below average and PP over.
Believe it or not, so when I get my video up to date, when I actually start figuring out how to do that, which I was going to talk to Sergeant Von Suthi about it. Have you seen his room?
No.
The dude has a setup.
Really?
I mean, like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's one of those gaming things that you see on, like, TikTok of people saying, like, hey, show me your shit. And then, like, it's, like, stupid impressive. Like,
really?
I walked in there, I looked at it, I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. This, like...
What's so intense about it?
So he's got, like... We're steering so far off top. But anyways, right?
We keep doing that.
No, it's cool, right? So he has, like... I walked in, the first thing I noticed was, like, oh, he's got 3 monitors. NBD, right? No big deal. Then I noticed this camera just kind of just sticking up there. I was like, oh, he must be like a gamer or something, like streaming kind of thing, right? And then he just kind of like saw me looking at it. He was just like, oh yeah, let me show you my setup. And then that's when things started getting interesting, right? So like he walks me over to what I thought was just a giant box, and he was like, this is my tower. And I'm looking at it, and then like at the inside of it, like, it was beautiful. I mean, it's like Aurora Borealis in a box. Like, it was just, like, I was just like, okay, but this thing is massive, dude. Like, it's like, I'd say one foot by like 2 feet by 1 by 2 by 3, right? Which
Okay.
doesn't sound like it's that big, but like, comparatively speaking,
oh yeah,
it makes my computer tower look like I have a typical size computer tower.
Yeah, that looks
His
average.
is like twice as like deep.
Almost below average.
It's
I had to. I'm sorry.
It's all right. But yeah, like his is like twice as wide.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it's just beautiful, right? And I was just like, okay, cool. So, and I start looking at his mouse and keyboard. I'm like, okay, he's got like a nice little setup, you know, with his mouse and keyboard. Nothing crazy, don't get me wrong, but like he's got like, you know, a good gaming setup there. He's got like the 3 monitors, and then he starts like working with everything, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this dude. Like I don't know, man. Like I felt like I had a tiny dick. Right? like you know, like when you go to the gym and you're trying lifting weights, and then the big buff guy comes and sits right next to you.
Oh yeah,
like, that's what it felt like.
Yeah,
you know, and I was
it almost feels like they're eyeballing you as they're lifting the weights.
Yeah, like I'm doing this on purpose to like make you intimidated, right? But that's what it felt like, you know. And I was like, I'm never gonna show him my setup. Like I don't even want him to see this, right? I'm just gonna keep him away from my room as much as possible. But I have to go talk to him so I can get the figure out how he's using the cameras and get everything like, you know, recorded. Because I want to have 3 cameras set up, right? I want to have like one focused on me, one focused on you, and then one focused on both of us.
Yeah.
So depending on which part of the conversation, we can literally, like, I can just like change it from 1 to 2 to 3.
So you got like a 3-shot setup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like that's what I want to talk to him about, because I feel like he would definitely know. Because I mean, his setup looks like he would at least know. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in these barracks that I didn't realize that they PC game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went into Edward's barracks, or Edward's room, and I walk into his room, and he's got like 2 giant monitors, maybe a little bit about the size of your monitor.
Yeah, mine isn't anything crazy. It's below average.
That's gonna stick the entire time. Oh Jesus! But they were pretty decent size. I would say about like 30-inch monitors.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 2 of them. He had like a whole setup. And then I looked at his tower, and it was almost the exact same as how you explained.
Yeah, just like this big box that looked like it was beautiful. And
Yeah, it looked insane.
It looked like the Tesseract was in there. That's what like it looked like. It was just like housing the Tesseract. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, so I looked at his desktop, and I was like, man, I'm running this tiny little laptop in my room. Like, it's so tiny. I might as well get myself a desktop, because I've seen all these people with desktops. I feel like a lot of people, especially in these barracks, could probably help me set that up.
Here's the thing. If you're like into gaming, yes, absolutely, right? If you're not that into gaming, don't worry about it. If your laptop can run whatever video game you're currently playing on it, don't spend the money, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, because I spent a decent amount on this, and like comparatively like compared to like all these other people, I'm just like, I didn't even spend that much, and like their shit looks way better.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm saying that, right, is my desktop sat here for months without me touching it. Like, I would just watch videos on there from time to time, because I was like, oh, I'll get into gaming, and I wasn't really big into gaming to begin with. I bought it for like the sheer fact of it. Now I'm way more into gaming because I'm like, fuck, I spent the money. I'm gonna like
Might as well use
exactly right. Like I was forcing myself into it. But yeah, if you're not really that into gaming, don't spend the money because like I'm forcing myself to play video games every day. And don't get me wrong, like I enjoy it. Like it's not like I'm like burdening myself with playing video games.
But
It's
after a while, it gets kind of repetitive.
it does because like I enjoy like shutting my brain off from time to time. Like I'll put something on, sit down, and just excuse me, these Red Bulls, man. I'll I like to shut my brain down and just kind of like have background noise going. Maybe just sit on my phone and just like zone out. But at the same time, it's terrible because like I just lose all productivity. At least with video games, I'm doing something like I'm like leveling up or kind of like working towards a goal.
Some kind of goal.
Yeah, but I mean, once again, like if you're not really that into video, like if you're not that much into like video games, then don't spend the money because you'll spend so much money, and then you're just gonna sit there like, why did I do this?
See, I feel the same way. So I've been kind of forcing myself to game a little bit. Like, I'll hop on my laptop, I'll play a game of like Rocket League or something, but I'm like sitting like after a while, maybe 30 minutes to an hour of playing, I'll get off and sit there and be like, I'm really bored. Like,
Yeah.
I want to do something else. I almost feel like I'm wasting my time. Like I could be doing something else, like working on my drawing or working on my graphic design business or practicing DJing.
Yeah, well, so like what I do is I usually only play video games on the weekends.
Yeah.
Very rarely will I play like Monday through Friday, and that's like the only time that I really have lately was just Call of Duty Battle Pass was coming up and I needed to level up.
Oh, okay.
So like that was the only reason this last week. But I stayed up late. I was kind of like killing myself doing that. Usually I'll like work on my homework or like I'll focus. I'll try to be productive during the work week, and like I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna do for my podcast next? What am I gonna do like with this business? How am I gonna like grow it? Like, trying to like stay away from like any kind of distractions and just be as productive as possible during the week. But I'm also very lazy.
Yeah.
It's a.
You kind of deserve it on the weekends. I get that.
Oh yes, definitely.
I've been doing the same thing. Like the weekdays, you kind of got to focus on trying to better yourself, I guess. And then maybe on the weekends, you could take a break every once in a while, play a game, I guess.
I mean, that's what I'll switch between like Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk, and then Call of Duty.
Oh, I love Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's my game.
That game was amazing.
The first time I played it through, I cried.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie,
Like,
I cried.
Spoiler alert: when Arthur dies.
I don't think it's a spoiler alert at this point.
Anymore. It's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
If you haven't played it, screw you.
Yeah.
All right.
But you have to. That game.
It's like one of the best storylines ever.
It is.
Like, and it's a western, but like I'm playing it through right now because like I just finished Cyberpunk, so I'm like, all right, let me focus more on Red Dead. He has tuberculosis. I think I'm in like chapter 4, but like he hasn't shown any signs yet, and I'm just like, it's coming.
Oh no!
It's coming. He's gonna start coughing. It's like,
He's gonna any second now. It's gonna happen.
He's gonna die.
And the worst part is, exactly when he catches it from that other guy.
I tried to kill him. Like I tried to kill that. I threw grenade, like the dynamite. Like I was just like, how can I do this? It wouldn't let me. All right? It's important for the story.
And the sad part is, after you beat the game, and as you're playing as what's his name, Marshall?
John Marston.
Yeah, Marston. There we go. If you play as Marston,
you can't swim anymore.
You can't swim anymore.
No.
But also, if you complete any of these side tasks that Arthur started, they'll bring up the fact that Arthur started them first. They'll be like, "Hey, you're not the same fellow that helped me before, but thanks anyways." And you're like, "Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that guy." And then you feel bad again because it reminds you of like your original character and how awesome he was.
See, I didn't even know that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to. I'm gonna leave at least like 1 or 2 because I'm doing all the side missions before I progress the actual main story. And it's taken me forever. Like I want to say I'm like 36 hours deep right now, and like I just started chapter 4. But it's because like I'm doing all the side missions.
Oh,
I'm like,
Jesus.
Yeah, like I'm.
That's like trying to play The Witcher 3 without, like, actually that's like trying to play The Witcher 3 without doing the main missions.
I've never actually played that game.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, I heard it was great. I was just like, okay, well, let me buy it and like see what the game is like. And then I was just like, yeah, let me YouTube a little bit of this before I actually play it. And I looked it up and I was like, I don't think I could get with those graphics. They're a little too old for me now.
I mean, it's the graphics for The Witcher 3.
Yeah, for The Witcher 3. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Then it's not like looking at a PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But what I'm saying is just like, I'm like,
I
I like
wouldn't
more
say
realism.
I wouldn't say the storyline is the best of the best. I honestly I just like it because of the combat, and then also the side quests. The side quests are very like you can get into a side quest easily because it feels like you're almost a character.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I like Red Dead.
Yeah.
It's also why I like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is my game.
I kind of fell off of Cyberpunk.
So did you play it on your laptop?
Yeah.
Can your laptop actually run it?
Yes.
Like completely like full specs, like you can see like pretty much the entire map from like where you are?
I wouldn't say that.
I can. I had a couple people come in my room just to show them, like, because they were always complaining about how the game crashed, and it was like, oh, it doesn't even look that good. I'm just like, dude, you're playing on an Xbox. It looks like a PlayStation 2 game on there.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a PC. That's what it was meant for.
Honestly.
Just get a fucking PC. So I brought them up, and then like I showed them the difference in the graphics. They're just like, oh. I was like, check this out. They're like, oh.
Yeah,
you know,
they
so,
really start seeing it.
Yeah. But I like the game. I finished it. I'd keep playing it right now, but I'm just like, I want to just get to Red Dead. So
What GPU do you have in there?
it's 1080 something. It's not that
1080.
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, not that
then
crazy.
maybe my graphics are better than yours.
Maybe I don't know what's yours.
2060.
Oh, yours is definitely better.
Yeah.
Like hands down.
The
It's,
only
like, twice as
reason
good.
the only reason why I say they're not that great is because if you look in the distance, you see like cars like driving like back and forth almost, and it looks like a PS2 game in the distance. And then as the closer you drive towards those vehicles, especially when you're in an open stretch of land, the closer you drive to those vehicles, they just start disappearing, which I guess is like a normal thing for a video game. I just
Yeah.
expected a little bit more.
Well, this conversation got so off topic.
Oh my god.
I was just sitting here thinking about it. I was like, wow, what were we talking about originally?
Graphic
Graphic
designs.
designing, yeah.
Yeah, and DJing. You know, honestly, like you could the whole reason why I got that mixer was because originally Dixon told me that everybody was going to pitch in, right? He was like, well, if you buy it, everybody will just pitch in the money to you, and
Yeah,
then we
kinda
can make
like
it
what happened with the karaoke machine.
Yeah, they can make it like a barracks thing where everybody uses it.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I put the money in, nobody sent me anything, so I'm just going to hold on to it.
I would keep it.
Yeah.
If you're the only one that paid for it, then that means you're the only one that paid for it, so
Yeah.
you should keep it.
And the worst part was too, like after I paid for it, I just spent a whole bunch of money on a large artboard so I could practice.
Let me stop you for a second.
Oh.
What is a whole bunch of money to you? Because I feel like that's very different from me and you.
Okay. So my problem isn't that I drop $800 right in one go. My problem is that I drop 100 here, 100 there, and it'll be like within the span of a week. So it adds up to 800, and I don't even notice it.
So you spent about like $100 on this artboard.
Yeah. So I spent $100 on this artboard, and then I spent another $100 on this mixer, and. Well, it wasn't $100 on the artboard. It was just like on the materials.
Yeah, everything that you needed.
Yeah, basically. And and my problem is that
You would
I'll
cry if you saw my bank account.
honestly but my problem is that I'll find a hobby that I really like to do, and then I just drop a whole bunch of money on it, and then I stop touching it.
I had that problem too.
Really?
Not so much anymore, right? So I'm forcing myself to get into all these hobbies that I decided to pick up, right? And like one of the hobbies I haven't touched yet, but I'm gonna move into once I start working on my business and actually figuring out how I'm gonna like progress in it, because like it's in the works right now, right?
Yeah.
Is I want to make my own watches too, right?
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I know how to do it. I know how to go about everything, but I'm just like, I'm just gonna stick to doing the clothing first, figure that step out, work next step. And the whole reason I can do that is because, like I said, I stopped playing video games. I stopped distracting myself during the week. I stopped just any distractions in general, right? Like I'll just stay in my room. The only thing I'll do it's not a distraction, but it's like the only thing I do during the week that I know I'm gonna do is just like I'll call my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But everything else, I'm just like, I'm gonna focus on what
That's
I'm
a
doing.
distraction too.
It's hardcore distraction. No, but yeah, like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna focus on whatever I have planned. And if like I feel like I'm done with everything, I'm just like, no TV. Like, what did I want to do, right? And then I'll just start moving into other things. Like, hey, I wanted to work out today. Oh, let me knock out a quick workout. Hey, I wanted to like pay my taxes. Pay my taxes. You know, just like all these other things. And it's a lot easier if you start setting like reminders or like um, on your phone, just put like little. Oof, these Red Bulls, man.
Yeah, this monster is killing me right now.
But like on my phone and my calendar, I'll just like add something, like add like a note or something.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, pay this day, or like, do this that day or whatever. So I'm just like, when I'm lost, I'm sitting there like I'm done with everything. I'm like, what do I have to do? You know, I'll just go
Yeah.
back and I'll look at it. I'm like, oh, I have to do that. You know, knock that one out, right? Oh, I have to design my T-shirt. Oh, I have to design my watch. Oh, I have to design my pants. You know,
That's a good idea. See, my problem is whenever I think of a reminder, I think of a time that I have to set for it.
yeah.
But that's a good idea where you just set it as like a background task, you know,
Mhm.
like a side mission.
It's a side mission. It's a side quest.
Yeah.
It's great whenever the sun's shining through my mirror and it's like sitting on my vacuum, and I'm just like, oh, that's my side quest today. You know? I got a vacuum.
You're like, oh man, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, and I mean, like one of the things that I haven't even done yet was like, I gotta do my laundry,
Oh
and
yeah.
I had to set a reminder for that earlier because I'm like, I'm gonna forget if I don't.